President Trump has defended joint American-Israeli strikes on Iran, saying that he felt strongly that Iran was planning to attack first. Speaking to the press during a meeting with German Chancellor Friedrich Merz at the White House, Trump said that based on negotiations which were underway, he was convinced that if the U.S. did not strike first, Iran would. Trump added that he might have forced Israel's hand.
We're having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that. And
Trump further claimed that the U.S. had inflicted wide damage on Iran, and everything from Iran's Air Force, Navy, radar systems to its military has been completely knocked out.
Well, they have no Navy. It's been knocked out. They have no Air Force. It's been knocked out. They have no air detection. That's been knocked out. Their radar has been knocked out. And just about everything's been knocked out.
Trump further said that a worst-case scenario in his attack on Iran will be that a new leader will be selected who will be worse than the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Further, when questioned by reporters if he had a name in his mind, Trump replied that most of the names preferred by Washington are already dead.
I guess the worst case would be we do this and then somebody takes over who's as bad as the previous person, right? That could happen. We don't want that to happen. That would probably be the worst. You go through this and then in 5 years you realize you put somebody in who is no better. So we'd like to see somebody in there that's going to bring it back for the people. And we'll see what happens with the people. You know, they have their chance. And we've said don't do it yet. If you're going to go out and protest, don't do it yet. It's very dangerous out there. A lot of bombs are being dropped. But I would say that would be about the worst.
Do you have someone in mind right now? Because you said all the people you did have in mind have been taken out. What do you think?
Well, most of the people we had in mind are dead. So, you know, we had some in mind from that group that is dead.
Trump also expressed his dissatisfaction with the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The UK has not joined the US-Israeli attack on Iran, but has allowed US forces to use UK bases. Trump also hit out at Starmer for agreeing to return the Chagos Islands to Mauritius, which houses the joint UK-US military base in Diego Garcia.
With the UK either. That island that you read about, the lease, okay, he made it for whatever reason, he made a lease of the island. Somebody came and took it away from him. And it's taken 3-4 days for us to work out where we can land there. It would have been much more convenient landing there as opposed to flying many extra hours. So we are very surprised. This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz extended support to the American strike, saying he was on the same page on getting rid of the regime in Tehran. Let's speak to our correspondent, Susan Teherani. She's live in New York. Susan, good to see you. There have been attacks on U.S. embassies across several Gulf states, but President Trump says that there is no evacuation plan for U.S. embassies in West Asia. What if these attacks persist? What will happen?
Yeah, these embassies on their own, many of them have already evacuated. The concern was, why didn't the White House order evacuations plans prior to these possible attacks coming in from Iran? And his reply during that meeting with Merz was that things are happening so fast and they didn't anticipate that they would have to give those orders sooner. This is going to possibly face criticism on the preparedness, but those embassies, as far as the Pentagon is saying, is the ones that were in harm's way were already evacuated, notably those with non-emergency personnel. But a very big cause of concern right now, notably on the American side, on how and if they are evacuated, then where do they get evacuated to? Where do they go? Because a lot of the airports in these neighboring countries, their airspace is closed.
Well, the president was really not happy with the UK's decision to hand over the Diego Garcia base, which is in the Chagos Island back to Mauritius. He says he's very unhappy with the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom because he says the flight time or the flying hours could have been reduced if at all the UK did allow the United States to use Diego Garcia. What do you think will be the reaction from the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Because this is going to be another tit for tat between President Trump and Starmer.
It will be, but it'll be interesting to see, considering the fact that Iran is posing those threats to neighboring countries. And that was sort of a surprise element, that civilian infrastructures in those Gulf countries are being attacked right now by Iran. We are expected to hear from Macron of France. It'll be interesting whether or not it'll be sort of a tit for tat with the UK, or UK will, at this point, because it's facing this criticism, come around. I think the issue with Spain, he made comments regarding Spain, how he's not very happy with Spain and has asked Scott Messon to seize all relations with Spain. I think that's going to be more noteworthy because at least Starmer and Trump, to a certain extent, have a line of communication open between them. Spain has been isolated from all of this in recent weeks. So let's look at Spain as well. But I think it appears that the Europeans, one by one, are somewhat changing their position. Now, the UK can sort of save itself if Starmer wants to save itself and say that we are going to, as it has, aid and protect our interests in the Middle East regions and aid those Middle Eastern countries, even Saudi Arabia. That would sort of have the UK help, but not directly in the war with the United States and Israel.
Susan Tehrani, we'll have to leave it there. It's good to see you. Thank you.